are not in charge of State House Clinic administration. Health Minister tells National Assembly as heavy cloud of financial impropriety hovers around. And President Buhari prepares to be a guest to the National Assembly in 4 days' time as correspondents to present 2018 fiscal document to both chambers. This is the gateway to your midday tonic NTA News Panorama and the last edition for the week. I am Lydia Odije Ochi. The Senate has received an executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari that he will present the 2018 appropriation bill to a joint session of the National Assembly on Tuesday, 7th November. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports on this and the passage of 3 bills for second reading at plenary.
Closely related to budgeting, national expenditure and matters within spheres of the economy was a bill for an act to provide for a legal, fiscal and regulatory framework for sustainable energy development in Nigeria, sponsored by Senator Ibrahim Gobri, representing Sokoto East.
When it comes to the issue of energy, the country is certainly one of the least because the energy is not enough to go around.
A bill for an act to establish the National Tea and Coffee Development Council, sponsored by Senator representing Taraba Central, Yusuf Abubakar Yusuf, passed second reading.
The speedy passage will enhance a rapid economic diversification of not only the agricultural sector but the economy.
This government owes it a duty as a follow-up to its diversification program to take seriously the production of tea.
A bill for an act to amend the Federal Capital Territory Act of 2004, sponsored by Senator David Umaru representing Niger East, was also read for the second time.
To include providing a policy framework for the compensation and resettlement of the original indigenes of the Federal Capital Territory.
The issue of resettlement and compensation cannot be overemphasized. Indeed, this National Assembly and this Senate is the State House of Assembly for the FCT and the people of the FCT.
Raising a point of order, Senator representing Edo North, Francis Alimukena, noted the failure of the Inspector General of Police to appear before an ad hoc committee set up to investigate various allegations against him.
I think that he's best advised, to follow the law and ensure that he has nothing to hide and come and appear like anyone else.
Senate President Bukola Saraki read the executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari.
I crave the kind indulgence of the National Assembly to grant me the slot of 1400 hours on Tuesday, 7th November 2017, to formally address a joint session and lay before the National Assembly the 2018 budget proposal.
From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
Similarly, the House of Representatives has received an executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari requesting its approval to lay the 2018 appropriation bill before the joint session of the National Assembly on Tuesday, 7th of November 2017. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unko has that.
Speaker Yakubu Dogara read to the members the letter from Mr. President.
The kind indulgence of the National Assembly to grant me the slot of 1400 hours on Tuesday, 7th November 2017, to formally address a joint session and lay before the National Assembly 2018 budget proposal.
Thereafter, 5 bills were passed for second reading. These include a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Act, seeking to expand the functions of the agency, sponsored by Representatives Adamu Kamale from Adamawa State and Henry Wanwuba from Imo State, and a bill for an act to amend the University of Maiduguri Act by Representative Asabe Velita Bashir from Borno State.
Any means that we can try to improve in our revenue generation and empower those agencies that we have enacted to perform to the extent that we get returns
that would open up the maritime sector of Nigeria to extra funding.
It's amended by providing for minimum qualification and experience of the Pro-Chancellor of the university.
A motion on the need to investigate alleged non-remittance of contributions by the 3 tiers of government into the Nigerian Social Trust Fund, moved by Representative Babatunde Kolawole from Ondo State, was adopted. Representative Mohammed Usman from Kaduna State moved the motion on the need to address what he described as declining immunization coverage in Nigeria through increased funding and awareness.
Cognizance that by failing, refusing, or neglecting to pay the statutory contributions to the NSITF, government at all levels are not only violating the law of the land, but are equally exposing the vast majority of the Nigerian workforce to uninsured and uncovered risk.
Implement the 1% of the Consolidated Revenue Fund for financing the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund in the 2018 budget.
The House in the Committee of Supply considered and approved 18.9 billion naira as 2017 budget for NAFDAC, while the report of the Conference Committee on the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Bill 2017 and that of its Committee on Human Rights on a bill for an act to provide for the protection of human rights online were considered in the Committee of the Whole. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
In another development, the Minister of State for Health, Osage Hanire, says that the ministry has no role in the administration of the State House Medical Center. He stated this before the House Ad Hoc Committee investigating the State House Clinic and the alleged illegal deductions from the salaries and allowances of the medical staff at the center. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Izumba reports.
The investigation is aimed at addressing the low-capacity issue earlier leveled against the center. The committee therefore seeks to know how the center was established and the principal purpose for its establishment and other matters.
Federal Ministry of Health is not directly in charge and is not the one in oversight, so we cannot say what the state is.
Permanent Secretary State House Jalal Arabi told the committee that in the past, the overall headship of the center was reposed on the chief physician to the head of state, but the current administration separated the office from the headship and appointed a medical director specifically to head the center.
The staff working at the State House Medical Center are categorized into two, the regular and the non-regular, those we call the ad hoc staff. The total appropriation for the State House Medical Center for the period 2015 to 2017 for overhead was 465,935,358 naira. Total releases was 305,695,253 naira 60 kobo. And out of this, total expenditure was 152,656,949 naira 56 kobo.
We want to ensure that at least the issue of the health sector in this country is looked into.
I want to make sure that whatever we get there will be a starting point, to making sure that other places are better.
Members of the committee stressed that they will make recommendation and report back to the House. The investigation continues. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Izumba, NT News.
Another report from the House says the House of Representatives is to investigate the remittance into the Federation account by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, from 2007 to date. This followed a motion moved by Representative Alexander Adekola from Ekiti State, as the members also urged the Minister of Finance and concerned agencies to halt alleged plan to divert $35 million from the World Bank-funded growth and employment project, moved by Representative Mark Bila from Benue State. President Muhammadu Buhari has engaged the Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha on ways of enhancing federal presence in the southeast so as to give the people a better sense of belonging. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president also discussed labor matters with the Minister of Labor and Employment, Chris Ngige.
Mr. President, my president, how are you? The interactive meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Rochas Okorocha, which lasted about 45 minutes behind closed doors, focuses on strategies towards appreciating the growing popularity and acceptability of the governing APC in the Southeast.
The Southeast before now was not majorly in APC, but we have come to realize that we are better off in APC than any other party in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the need for Mr. President to come to Southeast as quickly as possible to begin to show his presence.
Describing the meeting as fruitful, Governor Okorocha is confident that the people of the Southeast will soon have a cause to smile, especially as regards the provision of desired infrastructure. On politics, he said the last NEC meeting was a turning point for the governing party as the cost is now clear for 2019.
President Buhari qualifies constitutionally to run, and good thing, he's in good health, stronger than he has ever been. So he has every right and qualification to continue his good job.
President Muhammadu Buhari was also brought up to speed on the state of affairs in the labor industry, employment situation, as well as the issue of minimum wage by Labor and Employment Minister Chris Ngige.
We have to look at where we are in terms of job creation, the labor administration, and more importantly, the issue of the national minimum wage. We are now in the process of paneling a new national minimum wage committee. I have cleared the appointments with Mr. President today, and as soon as the labor people come back from the governing board meetings in Geneva, we'll take a consensus date with the governors because it's a tripartite committee.
The minister takes pride in what he called the blue-collar jobs created under the governing APC, saying the agricultural value chain alone has removed over 7 million Nigerians out of the labor market. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the recent landmark achievement in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business and top 10 most improved nations in the world banking will strengthen Nigeria's drive for regional integration. The Vice President was speaking at a two-day high-level policy and private sector trade and investment partnership forum for development. Correspondent Cliff Ayoze reports.
Policymakers, investors and entrepreneurs from Africa and beyond, with developing nations requiring additional $2.5 trillion annually to meet the Sustainable Development Goals. Facilitation of trade and investment, they say, will help countries to link up to global value chains. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says Nigeria's World Bank Positive Global Ranking among top 10 most improved nations in the world indicates the nation's drive for greatness.
The agreement is also important for us, especially as it affords an opportunity to deepen our plans for intra-regional trade and indeed regional economic integration. In particular, we have a unique opportunity to leverage on our commitments to work on customs cooperation and other elements of trade facilitation.
World Trade Organization, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, extending to World Economic Forum, to Africa Union and ECOWAS, believe the conversation to facilitate trade and investment for development is apt.
The facilitation of investments, and those are key elements for development, the key elements for growth, to create jobs, especially in developing countries.
If we make it easy to do business and we're not producing anything to trade, it means we're just facilitating import trade.
Nigeria's Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment says the high-level policy forum will open new doors to repositioning the economy.
It's the surest path to development. The other way to think about it is that countries that have attracted the right investments and promoted the right kind of trade are generally better developed and have more jobs for their people.
The forum, an initiative of Nigeria, ECOWAS and other interests, will strive to adopt favorable African position in trade and investment for development as they move from an era of rhetoric to action. In Abuja, Cliff Ayoze, NTA News.
The National Executive Committee of the Democratic People's Party, DPP, has commended the giant strides of the Buhari administration in the area of security and restoring the economic viability of Nigeria. The national chairman of the DPP, Mr. Gashon Benson, gave the party's position before the commencement of the NEC meeting. Political correspondent Abdullahi Garba Kudu reports.
The Democratic People's Party, which in 2015 general elections adopted President Muhammadu Buhari as its candidate, said it is not disappointed with that choice. While expressing its delight on the full recovery of the president, the party acknowledged significant achievements in the area of security, particularly in the northeast. It, however, advised government to ensure inclusiveness in the next political appointments and more attention be given to improving the laws of the common man.
When government is formed, it's no longer party matter. We're talking about the citizen and the citizenry. And then more technocrats should be brought into the office. We're looking at managing Nigeria resources for Nigerians, and so that the economy or the reception or whatever thing, the policy can change from whatever it is.
The meeting, which received briefings on the planned convention of the party, noted that DPP has been up to date in complying to Electoral Act and INEC guidelines. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
Time now to pause for some messages. Panorama returns in a moment. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back, and thanks for being there. The Federal Fire Service and Borno State government have agreed to partner towards rebuilding the firefighting capacity of the state. This was the agreement reached when the state governor, Kashim Shettima, paid a visit to the headquarters of the fire service in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi has that.
As Borno State, ravaged by insurgency, is beginning to reconstruct, the need to put in place relevant infrastructure to sustain the rehabilitation is imperative, and firefighting is crucial to these. It is to establish this infrastructure in the state that Governor Shettima, who also inspected facilities at the fire service headquarters, wants assistance in manning of the 50 fighting vehicles he has purchased, establishment of Federal Fire Service Zonal Office in Borno State, and training of 100 recruits at the National Fire Academy.
I want to deploy them to all the major urban settlements, the IDP camps, and so on across the length and breadth of the state.
An obviously delighted Controller General of the Federal Fire Service, Joseph Garuba, who commended Governor Shettima for his commitment to safety and security of Borno people, promised support in the areas requested, saying, Arrangement will commence immediately.
And with what is on ground now, the academy is upgraded to degree awarding institution.
With the Harmattan setting in fast, the Controller General used the opportunity to warn against bush burning and appeal to Nigerians to take appropriate fire prevention measures in their houses, offices, business premises and farms. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has pledged to collaborate with Kano State Government in the areas of agriculture and commerce. This was when he received Governor Abdullahi Ganduje in Abuja.
I hold myself solemnly responsible to coordinate this office in such a way that he gets the satisfaction that the things that he has promised the people of this country are attained.
We are in close dealing with the presidency in all matters that relate to Kano State and the federal government, and in all matters that relate to the ideals and to the manner that the president is handling this country.
Boss Mustafa solicited the cooperation of Kano State government in ensuring that the All Progressives Congress government fulfills its mandate. Checking insecurity and maintaining its status as the most peaceful state in the country remains a priority of the Cross River State government. Governor Ben Ayade gave the indication while presenting another set of 20 operational vehicles to security agencies in the state, in addition to the 150 pickup vans earlier presented. Udwak Etem reports.
While presenting the vehicles to the various service commanders, alongside some paramilitary organizations in Calabar, Governor Ayade noted that the state will not rest on its heirs in ensuring adequate protection of lives and property of its citizenry. The governor assured the security operatives of the state government continuous improvement on their welfare and explained that the effort is also to ensure that the construction work at the proposed 275-kilometer superhighway and the Bakassi Deep Sea Port is carried out without any breach of peace.
We know that you're gallant officers. We believe that with your presence, with your full commitment, we shall have a hitch-free deep sea port construction and superhighway construction project.
Responding on behalf of the other service commanders, the commanding officer, Nigerian Navy, MMS Victory, Commodore Sali Issa Jibrin, expressed appreciation to the governor for always supporting them to discharging their constitutional duties.
We'll do our best to ensure that there's utmost security for the project so that the people of Nigeria and Cross River State in general will.
In Calabar, Udwak Etem, NTA News.
And now sports. Kanu Nwankwo rallies support for internally displaced persons as Amina Quadri rises to world number 27 in latest ITIF rankings. Tamara Ebiwe is our guide on Sports Update.
Two-time African Footballer of the Year, Nwankwo Kanu, has made a clarion call to wealthy individuals to assist internally displaced persons to enable them rebuild their lives. Awal Salisu reports that the former Super Eagles captain made the appeal in Kano during the press briefing ahead of the scheduled football match between Africa Legends and Kano Pillars, slated for December 14.
There's no other way we can come in to support. That's my field. So I have to use what I got to help, and football is what I got.
The Athletics Federation of Nigeria says it has concluded plans to embark on youth programs to get in ages 15 and below by monitoring schools' inter-house sports to overcome the issue of false declaration of ages among athletes. Coaches and technical officials will be used to collate data of the young talents from various schools and submit same to the Federation for record keeping. And in table tennis, 2017 Polish Open champion Aruna Kadri has moved 9 places upward to 27th in the November International Table Tennis Federation ITTF ranking released midweek by the World Table Tennis Governing Body. with 2,434 points in October to be ranked 36th. Haruna Quadri gained 23 points from his performance in October to gain his position in November with 2,457 points. Egypt's Omar Assar holds on to the top in Africa as the Egyptian made a step up from 21st to 20, while China's Malong remains number 1 in the world. With sports update, Tamara Ebiwe, NT News.
Congratulations to Haruna Quadri. And that ends Panorama this afternoon. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.